Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are at the Challenge Championship and the Collins Cup, brought to you by Master Spa's Hyperice Form Smart Swim Goggles, UCAN, HOKA, One, Clash USA, and our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Chelsea Sodaro, a proud member of Team USA here at the Collins Cup. How you doing, Chelsea?
That's right. I'm well. Really glad to be here with you, Bob.
And how old is your little one?
She just turned 5 months old.
Oh my God. And trying to being a mom and getting fit and getting here to the Collins Cup, how tough was that little obstacle course?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I look back at some of the videos that I've done with the PTO. Actually, we did this greater than one series together, kind of following my journey and following the new moms, the new PTO moms. And a couple of days before I gave birth, I actually said, so I'm going to take 5 or 6 weeks to recover. Then I'm going to get back to training, and that will give me 12 weeks till Boulder, and I'll validate my qualification, and I'll be good to go. No big thing.
Yeah.
It's been way harder than I expected.
But you did go to Boulder.
I did go to Boulder, yeah. And I qualified automatically by the skin of my teeth.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. And this is such a unique format, right? You're somebody who ran at the highest level. You're used to team things like this.
Absolutely.
Pretty fun?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I think, I grew up playing team sports. I grew up playing soccer, and then I was a cross country runner. And that was one of my favorite parts about the sport is that camaraderie and competing for something greater than yourself. And that's what we have here. I'm a pretty proud American, so it's fun to represent my flag and my country with some amazing athletes.
Well, and what's cool is I'm sure Sky and Jackie and Jocelyn are people you've raced with or against over the years. But adding Katie Zafaris and Taylor Knibb in here, who fresh off of medaling in the Olympics, that adds a little juice to the U.S. team.
It really does. We've been getting a little bit of criticism about maybe not being the most competitive team on paper, but we've got some pretty badass athletes.
That fly has been here all day long. I think it
likes me.
He's from Team Europe. He's from Team Europe, trying to get all of our trade secrets for Team USA. I like that. So, grew up in Davis, California, which is the home of Dave Scott, which is obviously the birthplace of hardcore training and racing. Did you swim with the one of the Scott kids as a coach or any of that type of stuff?
I didn't swim with any of the Scotts growing up, but I did do summer swim league. Okay. And I was not a good swimmer, and I did not enjoy it, but I did it, which I think helps when you are taking on swimming again as an adult. But Davis is also Bike Town USA, and so I grew up riding my bike everywhere.
Steve Larson.
That's right. Yeah. I wasn't a competitive cyclist, but I knew how to ride a bike fairly proficiently and have been a pretty competitive runner since high school. So I had the tools.
Pretty competitive. Ran at Berkeley. You're All-American 2012 and 13. 4:30 mile, 8:47 3K, 15:10 5K. That's a real deal. That's real running. Competed in Diamond League races?
That's right. Yeah, I did.
Wow. So that's competing at the highest level. But I also see 6 stress fractures, which means it's probably more than that. Was that what led to making a career change and getting in the tri?
Yeah, I was fairly injured going into the 2016 Olympic trials, where I had the Olympic ACE standard and I was shooting to make the Olympic team in the 10K on the track, and had one of my worst performances on the most important day and was pretty bummed out and banged up. And my husband and I were watching the Olympics, and I had kind of become a triathlon fan for a variety of reasons, but we're watching, and the American women were so competitive and so amazing. And my husband looks at me and he goes, I think you should try that. You're cross training all the time. I think you'd be really good at it. And I just laughed and thought it was the most ridiculous idea. But he got me a bike, and I joined a little master's group and just started to get obsessed with this idea, as we do.
And so when did you get to the point where, obviously you're running at a world-class level. I'm assuming that the thought was, all right, I'm going to try to get to the Olympics. When did you get to the point of going that route of turning pro and starting racing WTS races?
It didn't take that long, actually. I think that we got me a bike maybe in July or August. And then I ended up going and trying out for a professional squad in San Diego.
With Paulo
Souza, and was invited to join the squad. And so moved from Arizona, where I was training for running, to Poway in San Diego.
Became a Powegian. I like it.
Yeah, in December of 2016, and did my first triathlon in March of 2017 and got my professional card there, and then started racing on the circuit.
So on the circuit, you had 13 starts, 5 podiums, 1 win, right? What was the win?
It was the World Cup in Huatulco, Mexico.
Nice. So
yeah, my last ITU race, actually.
Was it your last one?
It was. I crossed the finish line there. And as you know, ITU athletes have to live and train around the world. And
yes.
I was in my late 20s at this point, and, my husband had a job in the Bay Area, and I'm in Mexico by myself, and I win this race. And I had just expected to feel this incredible elation and pride and excitement that I had accomplished this big goal and was going to kind of be launched onto the WTS circuit. And I just felt kind of sad and lonely, and decided that sacrifice of being away from my family wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. And that's when I started racing long course after that.
You moved in. Did you like it more? The other nice thing about long course, it's really you against you, rather than the tactics, the draft legal aspect of the WTS races is, you don't necessarily have the very best athlete winning, where I think if you're doing 70.3 or full, usually the cream rises to the top, because you're not drafting on the bike, and you've got to do it all yourself.
I really enjoy the autonomy of the lifestyle and having a lot of control over my career and the choices that go into that. And also my family is a massive part of what I do now, and that's really fun and really fulfilling for me. And I think that, with the long course non-drafting format, each discipline, the swim, bike, and run, they carry similar weights. Whereas in ITU, the dynamics of the race have such a big impact on the result.
Absolutely. Just like you saw at the Olympics, that the top 6, 7 women come out of the water and they're gone.
Yeah,
right?
If
they all stay on it, they keep their foot to the gas. People from the back, they're not bridging. It's
not
difficult.
at that level. Those women are incredible. What a show they put on for us this summer.
They really did. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're go longer distance, and you just, like you said, you were 6th at 70.3 Boulder, but that was, again, after having a little one. 2019, you were 3rd at Indian Wells, 1st at Buenos Aires, 1st at Augusta, 4th at 70.3 World with a 1:17 half marathon. That's pretty damn impressive. So, and that was in Nice, right?
That's right.
Wow. And that's after a tough bike ride.
Yeah.
A scary bike ride.
Yeah. I enjoy the technical aspects of the bike, and I think my stint in ITU has definitely helped that.
Yeah.
Nice favored someone who knew how to ride their bike and descend and handle it.
Yes. I mean, that's a lot of, and then you also had 70.3 Santa Rosa, which you won, and ran a 1:16 off the bike. Mm-hmm. So obviously the running is a weapon, but you can't use that weapon unless you're there.
That's right.
You have to be off the bike in the hunt to be able to run your way to the lead.
You do, and I think that the way the sport is progressing right now, you can't really have a weakness anymore. No. Even at the 70.3 distance, it's almost like an ITU race in the sense that you're kind of flat out across all 3 sports.
Right, yeah. And so after the race this weekend, what are the plans for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm planning to race at 70.3 Worlds. I'm still very much in a postpartum phase.
Yes.
I'm only 5 months, like we talked about, after having my daughter. And so I'm trying to take it one race at a time and one step at a time. But my plan is to compete at St. George at 70.3 Worlds and then make my Ironman debut later this year.
Oh, you want to do that then?
I do want to do that. Yeah, we'll have to kind of see how things progress with my training, but I'm very curious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because when you were running the track, I'm sure you weren't thinking marathon.
My coach when I was running track and field, her name is Magdalena Boulay.
Oh, I know Mag. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a special person.
A star.
She is. She is an Olympic marathoner.
Right.
And so I think when she coached me, I trained like a half marathoner. We did a fair amount of volume and lots of threshold running. And so with her background and skill set, the seed was planted. So I'm curious.
To see, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Thanks.
Very, very fun.
We'll see, yeah.
And with everybody right now is looking at Team Europe as the favorite, right? And
Sure.
hard not to. On paper, you've got Daniela Reef and Annie Hogg and Lucy Charles Barkley and Holly Lawrence and Kat Matthews and Emma Pallant-Browne. They've got they're solid across the board. But with the matchups, you don't know, right? It could be anybody's game.
It can be anybody's game, and as we know in this sport, it's so dynamic. There are so many things that are unpredictable, and we run the race for a reason. Team USA is incredibly gritty.
Yes.
Skye Mensch is a very, very tough athlete.
Yes,
if anyone knows her story, she's incredible. We have 3 moms, and if you're competing at this level as a mother, you know how to bring it.
Look at you guys, 3 moms.
And then we have 2 Olympians, which are our secret weapons. So I think that I think people have been underestimating what we're going to be able to do this
3
Saturday.
moms and 2 Olympians. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Very
Yeah.
cool. Have fun.
Thank you.
It's going to be a good time.
Thanks.
It'll
I
be
think
fun
it's
to
going to
watch.
be a pretty special event. We're all so honored to be here and really proud to be part of this kind of groundbreaking experience for our sport.
Well, you've getting into the sport when you did. Now, PTO has come in this last couple of years and have really changed the game entirely.
I feel so incredibly lucky with my timing. PTO launched a maternity leave policy earlier this year, which has been a huge help and support for me and my family. I think that financial and also emotional support has been massive in my comeback. When an organization like this says, we believe in you, we're going to keep on supporting you while you're pregnant and in your early stages of postpartum, that's massive.
Yeah.
That's massive. And I hope other sports start following suit.
Well, it's an investment in the most important commodity, which is your top athletes.
That's right.
Yeah, the spokespeople for the sport and the people who will drive new people into the sport.
That's right.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Chelsea Sodaro has been our guest. Again, Breakfast with Bob, and we will be right